What's going on, guys? My name is Dalton. I'm a physiotherapist and runner, and I've worked with a ton of runners over the last couple of years to stay strong and run pain-free. I've also been on my own mission to qualify for the Boston Marathon over the last 4 years, and I ran the 34K around the Bay last year and had a blast. And that's why I'm here today to tell you why you need to think about these 3 things if you are running around the Bay this year. Let's dive in. So the first thing I want you to consider is giving yourself enough time. One thing I find is people wait a little bit too long to start their training program. I know that 30K isn't quite a full marathon, but when we're looking at what it takes to build ourselves up to being able to take on a race such as around the Bay, is that you probably need about 12 to 16 weeks of preparation depending on your level of running. One common mistake I find people make when it comes to injury and running and preparing for a race like around the Bay is that their cardiovascular system often adapts a lot quicker than their muscles, their tendons, their bones, their musculoskeletal tissue. And so oftentimes they're like, well, I feel fit enough to go more, but then my knee starts hurting. And that is why starting sooner is a lot better of an idea to not only get your cardio up and ready to do 30K, but to get your tissues ready to take on the loads you need to take on. I want you to avoid the panic long runs as you open up your calendar and you realize that around the Bay is only 3-4 weeks away and you haven't run more than 12K yet. Starting soon, planning it out, giving yourself time is going to be the best way to set yourself up for success of not only finishing the race, but finishing the race feeling good and strong and healthy. On to the next thing. Second thing you're going to need is a community. Having some accountability, some friendship during the dark depths of the winter when you're trying to get out and prepare for a 30K long run. It's going to be super important that you're out there with a group of people who can push you, motivate you, hold you accountable. I find the hardest thing to do in winter running is just getting out of the door. So having people that you know are going to expect you to be there is really going to help you commit to that. Also, with Around the Bay, having the community is super fun. And the cool thing about Hamilton is there's so many great run clubs for you to go to. There's Runner's Den, which I highly recommend. Each year they put on Around the Bay clinic that you can participate in and give you a full training program. They make sure you're all set up for the race. There's Stack Run Club, there's Bayfront, there's Early Bird Run Club, there's the Movement Run Club. Obviously, I had to plug that. There's so many more. And the really cool thing about this is each run club has a different vibe, different perspective, different skill level. And it kind of gives you an opportunity to find which community is best for you. Because having a community of people that you're excited to get out with, to go out, prepare your body, and do it during the winter months when maybe it's not as fun to get out is super important to keeping you on track to actually doing the program that we talked about earlier. So find yourself a community, get out there, have some fun. Not only do you need it, but the other people need it as well. So that is number 2, and let's chat about the third thing. So the third thing, and probably my favorite, is you need strength training. I know, I said it. It's the dreaded word that not a lot of runners want to hear, but I think strength training is such an important aspect to keep in your routine when you're training for something around the Bay for plenty of reasons, but the 2 most important I think are 1, to reduce the risk of injury. Like I said earlier, one of the biggest things that ends up happening is people's aerobic system adapts, but their muscles and their tendons, their joints, their ligaments have a harder time adapting to the load of running. When we implement strength training, that actually helps build the resilience of our joints, our tendons, and our ligaments that we're going to take on during running, and it's going to help reduce the risk of injury. The second thing is the stronger you are, the more powerful you're going to be, the better runner you're going to be, and it's going to help you perform better. Think about around the Bay. You got Heartbreak Hill, you got the North Shore Hills. You need to be strong and ready to take on those hills, and strength training is a great way to do that. I think the biggest barrier that runners fall into when it comes to strength training is time. And I get it. When you're building for something like a 30K run and you have a ton of runs in your week, sneaking in 2 or 3 strength training sessions is not, the most exciting thing, but I'm here to challenge you a little bit. I think a lot of times we waste too much time in the gym, and we need to just have a program that is intentional and specific for runners to build up the resilience, the strength, and the tolerance of our tissues. And we can do that in a quick 20 to 30 minute sessions if done with the right intention and the right movements and the right program. Now, I know that is the hard part, is finding what to do, when to do it, how to do it. I got an answer for you if you stick around to the end of the video, but I really encourage all of you guys watching this video that you keep strength training in your program to keep your body resilient, keep your body strong, reduce the risk of injury, and make sure you crush Heartbreak Hill. So, to summarize, the 3 things I think that you need to think about when you're preparing for the 30K around the Bay this year is, number 1, starting early enough and having a plan. Number 2, finding a community. We need those accountability partners in the depths of the cold of winter. Go find one of the groups that I talked about earlier in the video. They're all amazing. And number 3, and I think I'm biased, but the most important is to keep in strength training in your routine to make your body resilient and prepared for running. I know I told you that I would give you something at the end around this, and what I want to give you guys is we have a free 8-week strength program that you can use. It's specifically made for runners, by runners, to help you prepare your tissue to get ready for the demands of running, to help you improve your strength. There's links to videos, there's strength tips, it's a full PDF, completely free for you guys to download. You can grab it in the description of this video. Grab it, try it out, implement it during your programming for the 30K around the Bay race. I'm super stoked. It's the best time of year for us to get prepared for something like Around the Bay. So I know when this video comes out, we're gonna be seeing people running around Hamilton, and we're all gonna know that they're preparing to train for Around the Bay. So if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe, like, share it with a friend. Share it with a friend who's running around the Bay, comment, all that fun stuff. We really appreciate your support. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.